everybody. So this video has been a while in coming, and I do apologize. I've meant to put up this video multiple times, and there's a lot of people that still watch the Aftershock vlog, which I am very appreciative of. It's just something that I do every year. You know, I kind of started the vlog part of it a couple years ago, but I always like putting up the videos of shows. I can be that guy sometimes, but I really enjoy going back and seeing a lot of the performances that, you know, maybe somebody that hasn't been there before, or that they've done something that is special. So like the Tool video, for example, you know, that was the first time I ever experienced that long ass version of Opiate, or Opiate, or whatever you want to call it. And you know, it was just it's something that's a lot of fun for me. So yeah, I'm going to be doing the vlog again, and I hope that, you know, anybody that has seen it, or that you know, say runs into me, I'd love to have you guys a part of it for the first part. Then you know, but there are a couple things that people did have questions about, and so I kind of want to go through a couple of those things for everybody. And then I also want to talk about the schedule of the lineup and stuff, and kind of, you know, where I'm probably going to be a little bit. And just, again, some of my complaints that I have with the way the schedule's done, because there's some really great bands, and there's a lot of shows that, you know, do a good job of their scheduling. And Aftershock used to be really, really good. It used to be something that, I'm not saying it's not good anymore, I'm just saying with the scheduling. I want to get that out of the way, because the show is still, I think it's a ton of fun. There's always a ton of people, and it's, you know, if you have the chance to go out there and actually experience it, it's a good time. But their scheduling is a little funky, to say the least. So first thing, when it comes to like bringing stuff in, people talk about like water, and have asked a lot of questions about that. It's pretty simple. It's relatively cheap. It's one of the things I really like about it. Drinks in general, like max that you're going to pay for a soda or a water or a Powerade or whatever it is, it's about $3. There's a really good organization, and for the life of me, I wish I could remember what it is. But basically, they're taking it and they're taking part of the profits that they get, and they donate it, and they keep everything down. I mean, when's the last time that you've gone to any type of show and haven't paid like $8 for a fucking bottle of water? We were just at what was it? Breaking Benjamin, 3 Days Grace, and Chevelle, along with Dorothy, and can't remember the other band because I had to miss the first two. But it was like terrible. Like a bottle of a regular ass, just like, you know, bottle like this. Okay, this is shitty Safeway water, super cheap, $3 for a whole 24 pack or whatever it is, $4. Where it was like $9. Like, I think it was actually probably like $8 for a bottle that size. There, you're gonna get that same bottle, $3. Yeah, is it a lot? But it's still cheaper than $8 for that. Or, you know, up there in Concord, it's fucking $11 for, or $12 for the fucking bigger version of the bottle. It's like, come on, dude, it's water. It's fucking cheap. You know, you could make a lot more, I think, by having it so inexpensive. When your beer costs the same as the water, it's no wonder why people are just drinking a ton of beer. But then again, when your mixed drinks cost about the same price as a beer, that's when you're gonna have a bunch of fucking assholes going all over the place. But even things like that are relatively inexpensive, and relatively more like, you know, bar prices, of course, are always, you know, raised up, but it's more like bar prices rather than, you know, you paying a shit ton of money for a single fucking shitty bottle of beer. So you can bring in, at least they have done it before. I don't know if they're cracked down on this year, but before they allowed people to bring in bottled water without a cap. So if you want to bring in, I've seen people with giant jugs, you know, the big giant Calistoga, you know, huge fucking things that you can get. They bring it in there. Now there is a couple of spots where you can fill it up. So, you know, I'm going to put the map like right over there. And when you're looking at the map, there's like the way the stages work, where you've got on the left side, you've got what I believe is the Discovery stage. It's called the Cola's Discovery stage this year. I'm going to be looking down at this other screen a couple of times during this, so please excuse me. And between that and the main Monster Energy stage that's there, you're going to have, like I said, a park benches. And that's where all like the food trucks, like a majority of the food trucks going to be. And the food is actually really good with those trucks there. I think if you didn't have the food trucks there, then you would have kind of a shitty options for food. You'd have your normal fucking, crappy hamburgers, and hot dogs and whatever they do. And then stuff that they try to say is like really fucking fancy, but it's not that fucking fancy. You know what I'm talking about when it comes to that stuff. But you have a lot of really good options for food. And the pricing, it's food truck pricing. So take that what you will. It could be a lot cheaper. It could be a lot more expensive. But you got some really good choices. Last year, they actually had a place that had fried yuca that was really good. And if you've ever had yuca before, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Except for they put some weird sauce on it. Get it without the sauce if they're back. But they also have like a taco place, and they've got like regular things besides the food trucks, which aren't as expensive as the food trucks and still are pretty decent. And your regular fare too. They have actually a nice barbecue place, and they had a place that did like shish kebabs type things. Like I said, they do things really well, and they do things really right in that regard. It's like, so the food's great, but over by one of the big areas of food trucks, kind of on your way to the third small side stage, which is going to be underneath like an overpass, there is like a bunch of picnic benches, and in that area there is a water spout. People use it all the time. It's a good place if you get really, really hot and you need to cool down. Just fucking run that faucet going and go ahead and douse yourself for a little bit. And they've also got a pair of like regular bathrooms that have like drinking fountains, and people have, gotten their water from there quite a bit. It's very, it's crowded. There's a ton of people. I mean, a shit ton of people. Last year was the first time where I really felt like it was truly like those giant fucking festivals that you get over in Europe, and maybe more Midwest or back east. Maybe they're, it's not to say it's not well attended, but I've never felt like it was that big until last year, really. And I've been going since the very first one. So it's, it's just kind of interesting how everything has gone and how many more people they can fucking pack in there. So there's a spot, I think it's around over here on the map. And, when it comes to that, you can go that way. You can't bring in like a cantina or anything like that. A cantina, like a canteen or anything like that, has to be plastic. Your bags, they should be right away seeable if they're going to be yours. So you should be see-through, or they'll give you a little strap, one of those little like, backpacks with the drawstrings that people can see through, or that they're own on the inside. So if you don't want to bring your own bag, or you don't have that type of bag, you can get something that can carry your shit that they can see through. And if you go there on Friday, just carry that fucking thing with you all the weekend long. It's really great. I don't know if they'll provide it this year. I can't guarantee you that, but that's what they've done in years past. And it's a great way for them to advertise. So why the fuck wouldn't they give you another one this year? So there's a couple other things I think that you can kind of expect. So I do want to go through, again, I know I've answered some of the questions on the previous video, but we'll go through them, because they've come up. So general admission tickets. If you have GA, the thing is that you can go basically everywhere but the VIP area. What I don't like is that I understand VIP, you got to give them something special besides the shirt, the pin, a handy backstage by somebody, or something like that, whatever you get for VIP. The biggest thing that you get with VIP tickets, and if people want to know, is that you get the ability to go between the two main stages flawlessly. Like the biggest thing with the layout that I have, and it's gotten better over the years, and the last year was probably one of the best ones that they did in terms of the VIP section. Maybe people didn't buy as much, I don't know. But it was that you have to go around the VIP if you're general admission, right? You can't just go through that area. There are people that are going to try to do it, and some people are going to get away with it, and they're going to go through and they're going to sneak into the VIP area, and it's perfectly fine. I don't give a shit. But in general, you have to go around it. So you've got your far stage that's over in that area over there, and I'm kind of approximating because whether I line up the image is up to me. And getting from that stage to the other two stages is perfectly fine. If you're over there in that stage, it's great. You know, I really feel the energy is so much bigger there just because it's so much tighter. It feels like a more intimate show than the other spots, and the music doesn't really bleed over too much. Every once in a while, there's something from the main stage that does, and you don't really hear anything from that stage all the way over in the corner over there. But the biggest problem is that everybody wants to, you know, for the most part, are going to be going to the main two stages. And this is where I have the same fucking issue every fucking year that they've done this. They've done these three stages in this layout so far, and it used to not be so bad. Like, it used to be a good 10 minutes in between sets. Now it's like 5. And you can do it. You can get over from one area, from the small stage over to the far stage over there perfectly fine in that 5 minutes if you bust your ass. If you don't bust your ass, then you're just going to be way in the fucking back and you're going to miss maybe a song or half a song or whatever you're going to do. But, you know, when you're trying to beat the crowds, especially from the main stage going over there, because there's so many people over the fucking main stage, that when you go over to that other main side stage, it is just a pain in the ass. So you have to go around. And it used to be that it was just like this huge like area. Like, if you looked at the map, like a majority of it would be like this. And you would have to go from the little, or the, not the little one, but the big main one, and then go all the way around, and then hopefully that you get in the side. Now, the good thing is when you do that, if you do want to get close, my suggestion is not to go up the right side, but go around the left, because there's so much open space on the left that you can eventually get, you know, at a decent distance, and then you can kind of walk in to the big giant crowd that's going to be sitting there. If you try to go up the right side, it's a lot tighter to go in there, but I do like the view better, and there's actually shade on that side. So it's up to you what you prefer. Do you prefer shade, or do you prefer getting up close? If you're like me and you like getting up close, every once in a while for, you know, a specific band, you're going to be on the left side of that stage, right in the fucking sun, because you want to get a nice good view of that and get to be a part of the whole crowd and the whole experience. So the VIP, what it is it's situated right in between on the hill with all the shade in between them. So you can go over, you know, right through, and you have an easy access to both stages, both of the big stages where everybody's going to be. So if you want to see everybody that's going to be on those two stages, pretty much VIP is the way to go. If you don't give a shit about the little stage and there's nobody that you really want to see over there, or you get fucked with a schedule like I'm going to be, then it doesn't matter. You can just stay VIP. And if you really want to, and you're one of those guys that is there for the music more or less than the spectacle of being around everybody and getting involved like that, then they do have nice little viewing areas in the VIP area. They've got a giant screen so you can sit. But again, it's weird to me that you're going to pay that much for a show and you're not going to actually try to see the band. You're going to go watch it on a video monitor instead. Like, I get it. Some people, maybe, you know, as I get older, you know, I'm not that young anymore. But as time passes on, maybe the VIP is the way to go, so I don't have to deal with all the, you know, craziness that goes on down there. But there's a ton of troopers that go through the main crowd. So GA is perfectly fine. You can do it. And the VIP, while it seems like a really good deal, because there's also like food and every other like bathrooms that are their own. There's a lot more shade over there. There's some really good shady spots too along it. By the food near the main stage, there's a really good area in the porta potties in the back. There's a lot of shade back there. And then in between where like all those benches are, and that whole area is just all trees and very shady until you get to the side stage, and then you're basically gonna hang out underneath the overpass to do that, get yourself some shade. So, you know, this goes without saying, keep your goddamn self hydrated. Don't just drink fucking beer all day, and make sure that you do get, you know, out of the sun a little bit, because Sacramento can be hot. Like, if you're coming from out of state to come see this thing, you know, in the summertime, Sacramento is probably one of the hotter places in California. And when it gets towards October, it's still pretty goddamn hot up there. And who knows, maybe this year we'll get some nice 70s. But I remember about 3, maybe 4 years back, it hit 110 on one day. And that was almost unbearable to be out there in the sun at 110 degrees. And then the next day, it cooled down to a nice 105. So it can get hot in October out there in Sacramento. The other question was buying a 3-day ticket, but on level 3. That's just their version of like payment plans and payment schedules if you didn't get in early enough. And right now, I think they're doing like 2-day tickets for like $199. I think you can get Friday and Saturday. I don't know if you can get Sunday anymore, unless they have 3-day tickets still available, and then you get to finally see Tool like me. So another question that's coming off here. We're going to talk about set times in a second. Sorry, I'm staring down at the screen. I'm just trying to look at comments and see what people have said. I know, no Deftones footage. So the one question is about the stage. Like, do the headliners go on first or very last? It's pretty simple. They go on last. Okay, so the big guys, the big 3 that are the weekend ones. I would say it's the big 6, right? So you're going to have headliners at different times. There's going to be one main headliner per stage. And I think the small stage, they got some pretty good headliners for each of their days, but I think those set times are really fucked, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But basically, you're going to be bouncing back and forth for the 2 main headliners. Eventually, the little stage, it ends pretty early. And sometimes, well, this year it seems like it doesn't end that early. It ends actually, I think on Friday, it ends during Stain's set, which is really weird. And so you normally would have a chance to actually go and maybe go to the small stage headliner, then bust your ass over to the second stage headliner, and then get to the main stage headliner. So here's my suggestion to you. If you really want to see a certain band, you're going to have to skip either some of it or all of it. Somebody like Tool, for example, maybe Tool's not the best example, to be honest with you, because the crowd is relatively chill. At least they were when I saw them a couple years ago over there at Aftershock. I actually was able to get up in a decent spot, but I also skipped the other stage. Last year they did something really good when Alice in Chains played with the System. They actually put Alice in Chains up on the screen, and the year before, my buddy Pat, he's like, I don't understand why they just don't put the video on the goddamn screen. It doesn't make any sense. And I was like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like, the people that want to hang out here and watch it, because we were waiting for Ozzy and skipped Five Finger Death Punch, you could hear him perfectly fine, but we just weren't seeing him. So why not just put him up on the screen? And boom, up on the screen last year was Alice in Chains. So we got to watch Alice in Chains. That's why you see them like you do in the video. But I wasn't missing a spot for fucking System, because I haven't seen System for goddamn years when they played last year. So that's where you have to kind of think about it. Now, the one maybe I would say on this, but I don't necessarily agree with it because of what's going on. Slipknot might be the one to do that for if you really want to see Slipknot and you really want to see them up close. Because, you know, you may go to Stain's set, maybe see a couple of songs, and then go bounce and go hang out over there, or just go chill by as close as you want, you know, because it is pretty damn empty until the show actually starts, you know, their set starts. So going over to that and seeing some of it and then coming back, or just skipping it all together, may be the way, because honestly, that 5 minutes that you've got to go over to the other stage is really ridiculous, and it's going to be really difficult to get a really good spot. We kind of got that way with Nine Inch Nails. Had to see them from way in the back and didn't really get to record anything in 2017, which I was kind of bummed about, because we decided to go over to the other stage and get up close. So if you're up close for that band in the you know, on that second stage that's headlining that, then you're gonna basically be in the back. There's almost no way. I mean, you smaller people, smaller than me, will definitely have an easier time of getting to the front. But I'm just really at that point where, you know, I don't want to push it. For me, this year with Stained, I've seen Slipknot so many times, and you know, while I'm still going to be there and I'm going to enjoy the fucking show because it's one of the best fucking shows that you're going to see, I have not seen Stained since, shit, I think I was in my 20s when I saw that, which means that I'm kind of old. But nonetheless, it was quite a bit ago. I think it was a BFD that I actually saw them at. And so it's good. It's been a while that I've seen them. So for me to be kind of up close and get a good spot for Stained is optimal. Like, that's where I'm going to be. That's what I'm going to see. And you'll be seeing probably quite a few clips from them in the vlog this year. If you aren't going, you're just interested in seeing the vlog. So, the other ones, yep, water situation, kind of the same thing. So, then I'm just going to spend the last part on the days and going with the schedule. So, the biggest thing that I have is that the schedules are just, they're terrible. I know it's a lot of bands. I know that there's a lot of downtime and they have to get set up. And they do a really good job of going through, after a band finishes and getting ready for the next band really, really quick. It's a fucking machine. In the first couple of years, it was trying it sometimes, depending on who the artist was. The very first year, Stone Temple Pilots, they're the ones that played the show. They were the main headliners of it, and it was only one day. And Scott took forever to get out on stage. I remember we finished, I think it was Deftones, and then they were supposed to start shortly after, and there you go. It took forever. But still, Scott fucking Weiland was one of the best goddamn frontmen that has ever been on the fucking stage. You can fight me on that. But he was known to be really late quite a bit because of all his problems, which sucks. So that's where I'm going to put the Friday stuff up there. So you can see the schedule that's there. And, for the most part, when I look at this, Phil Anselmo is somebody that I'm going to make sure that I see, because I have never seen him do anything with anybody. I missed out on the Pantera stuff. Kind of pissed off that I did. I've seen Down, which I really enjoyed and didn't realize at the time that was Phil Anselmo, because I was a young, impressionable kid, and it wasn't that much of a kid. But that's where I'm going to start. But when you look at the list of the people that are there, like to run around, so it's not so bad in the morning, because when you go there, the opening bands that play the show, it's kind of like a spotlight thing. It's cool because you can see some bands, and I know that my buddy Ben, he knows a lot more of the current bands than I do, because I've kind of slipped into, these are the guys I like. I'm just going to kind of listen to these guys. But I always like going to the show, because this is where I discover new groups and new styles of music, and kind of go through everything there. So it's kind of cool to jump around a little bit. You don't have to walk around too much. My suggestion for a lot of these is around the 4 o'clock mark if you've been there all day, especially on the first day. I mean, you've got I Prevail and Angel Dust and Clutch. Clutch you should see. They are a great live band, and it's one of those things. But if you if you're kind of hungry, that would be the time I'd say go get yourself something to eat, because it's right in the middle of the day, and the crowds usually, the beginning of the day, it's really easy. You're going to notice that your cell phone signal drops like crazy while you're there, because once the kind of that point, that's when the most amount of people are going to be in there. And so things that, if you're going to do some Instagram stuff or Snapchats, or I know I sound old when I fucking say that, Facebook Live, anything like that. If you're going to try to go live, or you're going to try to post stuff like that, it's going to be relatively hard. And make sure that you save everything that you do. So before you post it, make sure that you save it. Signals have gotten a little bit better in the area, but there still is a major drop. And one year I lost a ton of shit because I did not save my video the moment that I recorded it and was trying to put it up on Snapchat at the time. So suggestion is to make sure that you save everything that you do if you want to keep those specific memories along with you, or if you want to try to post them later, if you're really into making sure that you share everything, because your cell phone is going to drop. So about that time, that's when people really start, because that's when the kind of, I don't want to call them bigger bands, but the more popular bands, the more well-known bands kind of start at that time. So for me, around that time, Dropkick Murphys is a big, like, I need to see that band because I've never seen them live before. I'm looking forward to seeing that band. But this is where we kind of get all fucked up with our schedule, like already on the first day. So Hailstorm is nestled in there and actually starts right when Dropkick Murphys stops over at their stage. Now, Dropkick Murphys, and the reason I'm using this example, because I'm probably guessing that the last song that they're going to do is Shipping Out to Boston. I don't want to miss that fucking song. Okay, if I've never seen them live, if they play it, I will be happy and I can go move around, right? But that's like the most well-known for people that don't know the Dropkick Murphys. That's the song that everybody really knows. And it's kind of like that party song that you want to see. So everybody's going to kind of stick around. And yet you're starting Hailstorm right the fuck after that. And, if you're a fan of Knock Loose, they're playing over on the little stage at the same time. So if you like both bands, what do? Well, you're kind of in a good spot because it's 4:45 versus 4:50, and Knock Loose only has a smaller set. I mean, they actually stopped 5 minutes before. So if you're only interested in maybe seeing Shipping Up to Boston, then you can go ahead and go see it because they may be playing it when you finish watching that whole set. Or you just go see that set for a little bit and then go see Dropkick Murphys. You kind of have to plan your stuff out. But the fact that Hailstorm goes, this is where the fucking thing goes crazy. Because, it actually starts at Clutch. Because if you're watching Clutch, then you're not going to see all of Clutch because you want to go see the beginning of Dropkick Murphys. Then you got to leave that set and maybe you really fucking love Clutch and you love those guys as well. And this is where everything just goes to shit. And actually, kind of looking at it, it kind of starts with Beartooth. Honestly, that's where this whole whacked out schedule starts. So you got Hailstorm ending at 6:20, and then you got Lamb of God starting right at 6:20. So Hailstorm, regardless of what you feel about them, they put on a fucking amazing show. So it's worth it to go over and see them if you've never seen them before or you're kind of iffy about it. It's a good fucking set. Every time that I've seen them, I've really fucking enjoyed it, and I'm not the biggest Hailstorm fan. So it's worth it for me to go over there and see it. So you got Lamb of God, but then you've got the Interrupters starting at the exact same goddamn time. What the fuck is up with that? Now, the Interrupters is a relatively known band that is now during Lamb. I guess, it is two different types, but if you're like me and likes all different sorts of music and wants to see, a band, wants to go see both, then what am I going to choose? In this case, and people are going to get mad at me, probably, I don't know, but I would go see the Interrupters because I've seen Lamb of God a bunch. I've been up really close to see Lamb of God. I'll go see the Interrupters because, hey, this is what I kind of want to do, but also you're with your friends and you don't want to lose them because it can be very easy to lose them at this goddamn show. Maybe you end up seeing Lamb of God and you're going to miss a band that you really wanted to see. And then after that, you got Sum 41 starting at 7:25. Now, I know what you're going to say, Sum 41, why would you want? Because there's something fun about that band. I've seen them once before, and they're tons and tons of fun. And I really did want to see it. I wanted to go over there, and I wanted to actually enjoy it when I found out they're going to be on the third stage. Great. And I look over, but wait, what starts at 7:15? Stained. Guess what I'm not fucking seeing? I'm not seeing Sum 41. Okay, you might ask yourself, well, wouldn't you rather see Stained? Yeah, I'd rather see fucking Stained than Sum 41. But you know what? I would, the first couple of years, I could actually go, and see Lacuna Coil at the small stage with enough time to go to the main stage, go see Rob Zombie or Marilyn Manson, let's say, to go over and see Limp Bizkit over at the other side stage, to go back to the main stage and finish with Rob Zombie. I could do that. I can't do that anymore. I don't even think I'm going to spend any time at the small stage. I know there was somebody saying, what, no Gwar? You know why? Because somebody else was playing during goddamn Gwar that majority of the people that I was with wanted to go see. And so we went and saw that instead, which was a really good time. But I really kind of wished in the back of my mind that I had left and gone and seen Gwar instead. And it's a mistake. I should have gone and seen Gwar. But why are you putting these people? I understand the side stage, it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's your indie stage, but it kind of is. It's kind of your low key, but they have big groups over there. I mean, Sum 41 is nothing to fucking scoff at, and the crowd will be there for them. And it's weird that they didn't play on day 2 instead of day 1, which to me doesn't make any sense. Okay, so now here goes the wipe. And then now we've got Saturday schedule up there. So Saturday, it's kind of the same thing. Now this day, I might be more inclined to actually start early and maybe end early. I don't know. Because Sick Puppies plays early, and I actually really enjoy Sick Puppies. Actually would be nice because they play at 1 to walk in and actually sit and see their set. There's a couple other I can never say the HO909, HO9909. I think it's horror still. I've seen them before. They're fun. it's weird to have them there. It's like the year that they had Tech 9, and the years that they had Tech 9. A lot of fun, but weird. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really fit here. Fishbone, though. Fishbone, I would really like to see Fishbone. And there's a little bit of time to go. Luckily, Fishbone main stage, and the other guys are over there at the little stage. And because I'm not, like, the hugest fan, like, I could go see a little bit of the set, go over to Fishbone. Highly Suspect is worthwhile seeing if you've never seen them before. I saw them open for Chevelle a couple of years ago, probably more than a couple of years ago, probably like 5 years ago, 6 years ago maybe. I think they also played with Mute Math, which was really cool. So if you've never seen Highly Suspect, I would definitely go check them out. And they're on the main stage for a reason. But I have to cut that short because, wait, there's 2 different ones that I want to see playing at the exact same time once a fucking again. Bad Religion playing over at the side stage, or the second stage. And then you have Andrew WK at the same time at the small stage. Now, granted, like, I've seen Bad Religion plenty of times before. So, personally, I could skip it. But I know people that haven't seen them and that want to see them for the first time. I've never seen Andrew WK, so what do? Do I hang out with Bad Religion for a little while and hope that I can make it over there and party all the time with Andrew WK, because it's probably going to be his closing song? But it might not be. You know, artists do these things where even though it was their kind of most well-known hit, they do something different. And I really want to see that stage show of Andrew WK. So there's a chance that I'm going to skip it. But I got to bust my ass after it, or while whatever's going, if they're partying on over there, over an Andrew WK stage, because Stone Temple Pilots with the new singer is playing on the main stage directly after they finish their set. And this time there's no Scott, so it's not going to be fucking late. Like, they're going to be on time and they're going to go on. And I kind of want to see it. I mean, yeah, it's not necessarily the same, but it's still Stone Temple Pilots. It's kind of the way that I was about 3 Days Grace about a week ago. You know, it's not the original singer anymore, but it still was a really good time. So I really want to see it. I saw him with Chester, and Chester was fucking great with Stone Temple Pilots. And that video is on the channel as well. And, you know, it's going to be weird to see it with another singer, but let's go from there. Then you've got Fiddler. I have no idea who they are, so it's probably a skip for me. And then you got Marilyn Manson. Now, this might be a weird occasion where I've seen Manson so many times. I mean, like, I'd never seen him before, and then I saw him, and now I've seen him like 30 times. Like, it feels like it's that many fucking times. Do I go there or go check out Fiddler as somebody new? Like, the way that the schedule is now, there's not a whole lot of, like, the new stuff in the beginning to check out, but there's nothing really later at night where I can be like, oh, I've never heard of you before. I really want to go see you because I've got some extra time to go see you. Instead, it's probably going to go see Marilyn Manson. But in that case, I will not necessarily be at the front of that. I can be somewhere nice where if I want to leave during the set and so that I can go see Bring Me the Horizon, I can go over and see Bring Me the Horizon. And go to the main stage and hang out, because Bringing Me the Horizon, however you feel about the music, again, those guys put on a really good show, and I would be amiss to go miss that show once again, because, you know, I saw them while waiting for Slipknot, or it might have been actually Breaking Benjamin on the one side of the stage, and, you know, it was really a lot of fun, and I wish I had kind of been over there, so maybe I go check it out like that this year, who knows. And then, you know, Robin Blink, where I'd be more happy to go closer for Rob's set. And I've been, really, really close for Rob. And yeah, as you can see, you know, there's Rob back up there. He's gonna get a little but I really kind of want to be close for that, because honestly, Blink 182, you know, like I always say, like I've joked around with my buddy Pat, you know, with certain guys, play this song and then get the fuck off the stage, because that's it. That's the way I feel about Blink. Like, I'm not a big Blink fan that much. They do put on a good show too. I mean, these guys have been in the business for so long. I can say so many times, yeah, you should go see them because they put on a good show, because they really do. Whether or not you dislike the music or not, it's always fun. Travis Barker's a fucking beast. I don't care what anybody says. Fucking beast, man. So it would be fun to go see some of that set, but I don't necessarily need to be close for that. So, you know, like I said, this could be a night where it's like, hey, I just want to watch a little bit of Blink, and then I want to take the rest of the night off. So Then we go over to Sunday, and Sunday's schedule, and for some reason this thing has decided to be a bitch to me and not want to work right. But Sunday's schedule is a lot tighter because it's a lot shorter. It starts, about the same time, but it ends a little early. And that's for one main reason that we know that. One, because it's Sunday, and because, it's fucking Tool. And they get a long fucking set, which I'm so excited about. So then we go over to Sunday. And Sunday is a little bit tighter just because it's going to be, less bands. Well, it looks like it's actually kind of about the same. But, the big main event of the whole thing is fucking Tool. So, hey, look at that. We got that. Oh, yeah, forgot. Wipe. So this day for me is kind of a little simpler because there's not as many bands that I kind of want to go around and randomly see. I do want to make sure that I try to check out Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes because I've really enjoyed them when I've seen them before. And if you haven't seen them, it's a pretty fun show. And then the next one that's kind of up on the list for me is Crystal Method. Another band artist, I should say, in this thing, where it'd be kind of fun. Hey, look, it's Zach back there. And it may be, something that is just interesting to see, something that I haven't seen before. And check out a little bit of the set, but I'll probably only see a couple of things there because honestly, I kind of do want to see Baby Metal, which could be a lot of fun. I know the way that some people feel about them. Yes, they are like a Japanese metal idol band, but it's still, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's silly enough to where I think that it's going to be entertaining, and we'll have to see. But I think the crowd's just going to have a good time. I think that they'll put on an interesting show. And then it's kind of like hanging around there for a while. Like, I think going back and seeing Gojira might be fun. I saw them, I believe it was last year that they played. Or it might have been 2 years ago. And they were really good and really fun. But it's definitely a different feeling that you get out of that band than a lot of other metal bands out there. It's almost like seeing Meshuggah. Who is a great fucking technical band and very fun, but then it can be kind of boring to some. They have a couple of really good songs. They put on a very strong live performance, and so they might be fun to go check out. There's not a whole lot on the little stage that day that I'm really kind of interested in seeing, unless there's like a big break and everything. But of course, the big thing of the day is to go see Chevelle again. I just saw them a couple days ago, and I'm willing to go see them again. I don't know how much the rest of the group that I'm going to be with is really going to want to go see them. But I fucking love Chevelle, and I'll be up there. And hopefully his voice is better this time than it was, because I know he was sick when we just saw him. So it wasn't necessarily his best performance. But I've had a lot of fun every time that I've seen them. A Day to Remember would be pretty fun to see as well. So that might be an occasion where, because I've seen Chevelle so many times, and I kind of know what the set list is going to be like, that I kind of might run over to go see A Day to Remember. And then this is where I kind of have to make a decision, right? Now, for me, this is probably going to be the 7th time, maybe 6th time seeing Tool. And what I love about Tool and what I hate about Tool when you see them live is that it's basically the same set, but everybody knows that Fear Inoculum came out this year. Hurrah! And so they're going to be playing a couple songs off of that. At least, 1, 2, maybe 3. I'm really hoping that they play Tempest. I will fucking shit a brick if they play that song. I want them to play Invincible off that album. It is my favorite song off of that album. I don't know if they'll be playing Descending. They've been playing it quite a bit, but maybe they'll play something like Pneuma. Or, a couple other things. I know they've been playing, or Danny's been playing a version of Chocolate Chip Trip, which, is basically a long drum solo, with a lot of really cool effects around it. And from what I remember or what I've heard is that he doesn't have the original effects that he used to record it originally. So it's always somewhat different every time they play it live, or he plays it live, I guess that you'd say at this time. And Danny Carey is one of the best drummers that I've ever seen, like ever, period. So it's worth it seeing for that. So do I skip out on Korn? Korn is another one of those bands that I have seen ad nauseum. They have been at this festival, I don't know how many goddamn times. And there was a year, I think I saw them like 4 times in the same fucking year. And it's crazy. I really enjoy Korn. The thing with Korn, both Korn and Tool, okay? They both have the same type of repertoire when it comes to their lead singers. And again, I know Pat, he jokes about this. Well, not so much a joke, but his thing is, well, you can't even see Maynard. You know, he just hides in the shadow back there. That's kind of what he does. But it's one of those things where I know it's really pretentious to be like that or to say it that way, but he kind of wants the music to play for himself, and he doesn't want to necessarily be the front man because it's about seeing everybody, not just going out there and seeing him. So do you get up close for Tool because you want to experience it? Me? Yes, I do that. I want to be close. I want to be somewhat close. I want to be where I was when I saw them for the first time. And when you see that Tool video, I'm right by the sound booth, right there, kind of in the middle of the whole area that's there. And so it's worth it to me to either go see some of Korn or see none of Korn. And, you know, they'll play some of the new stuff, Korn will. I haven't really heard any of the new stuff. Probably should before I go see the show. But I know that my buddies are all really big fans of Korn, so it may be one of those situations where it's like, okay, I'm going to meet you over here at the end of it, and if you can find me out in the crowd, great. If you can't, then I'm just going to go enjoy some fucking Tool. So I really kind of hope, I would love to find the spot that we found for not Black Sabbath, but for Ozzy Osbourne, which was a great little spot. We got it right against the fence by the VIP area, perfect view of the stage, and not a whole lot of people moving around, not getting so crushed. But I also like being kind of like center to the whole experience, because Tool really is an experience to me. It's really something just kind of, there's the energy that you just get from the music. I don't also want to be one of those Tool fans, but I feel like at times I can be, especially when you see them live. There is something definitely special about seeing them live in comparison to seeing them, you know, or just listening to them. But they really try to, with the visuals and everything going with it, it's such a spectacle that it's fucking amazing, and I'm not going to miss that for the world. So who are you guys most excited to see? You know, is there something else that I missed in that you guys have questions about that I can answer below? Just let me know. I really appreciate, again, the guys that did interact, that have seen the video, that, you know, it's just a fun experience. And, you know, I hope to see you guys out there. I have no idea. Like, I try to, like, it's weird. It's like that weird thing. I feel like such a person when I do this. Like, I try to figure out, okay, well, what shirts am I going to wear for those specific days? What am I going to do? You know, probably have a Tool shirt for the last day because it's fucking Tool. Last year I got out my old System of a Down shirt, which was great. But, you know, I've got a couple of different things I'm thinking about wearing, and figuring that out. I might bring my Crypt Keeper shirt this year, so look out for the guy with the Crypt Keeper shirt going off and around. But yeah, I really think if you guys are coming out, just if you see me, come say hi. I'll stick you in the vlog for this year. We'll you know, go around and you know, let's have some fun. That's all it's all about, man. I love this festival so much, and it's, you know, it's difficult to be like, when you look at the old, like, set times and the way everything was actually moved around, it just felt a lot cleaner than it does now, but it doesn't detract from the experience that it is. And, you know, it's amazing that this is in Sacramento of all places, and, you know, that it started, you know, quite some time ago. I think in 2012 is actually when the first one was. And it's, you know, only a couple years away from a 10-year anniversary, which I definitely hope to be at. And, you know, it's a great experience. As long as they keep the artist quality that they have, then it'll still be a lot of fun. Hopefully, you know, this will be a very fun show, and can't wait to be there. So we'll see you guys out there at Aftershock this year. So enjoy. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll talk to you next time. With whatever the fuck this channel does, which is mostly like concert videos for this channel. If you do want to see something else, I got to plug something else. I do have another channel that is for my podcast. It's called the Terrible Terror Podcast. There are some minis on this channel That there's a lot of movie reviews over there. That's a little more active than this one is. And you can check out that podcast as well. If you guys like horror movies and you guys like horrible horror movies, especially, there's a lot of stuff on it. So that channel will have, for October as well as I did last year, a 31 and 31. I participate in the horror. Still, it's so close to October and I should have my fucking theme ready. But I think the theme this year is probably going to be totally 80s. I think we're doing a lot of 80s horror this year. So that should be a lot of fun. But thank you guys for watching, if you sat through this whole goddamn long-ass video. And let's have some fun. All right? See you later.